of people been meeting on Instagram, But me personally, I like the personal connection, knowing somebody for a long time, to grow with them and shit.
I think if everyone were honest deep down, they would say that they want that too.
Yeah,
Not
that you have
everyone's
a
as lucky.
real person connection with, is way different than meeting somebody online and thinking, oh yeah, they're nice, they're cool. They could not be. You can't tell, you can't really tell somebody's true character from just looking at their page. Most people
How do you,
have a facade they put on when they record and stuff.
yep. How do you find that proximity, you think, after school is up?
See, that's hard. So I got lucky, right? I didn't have to meet anybody after I got out. Me and my girl kind of knew each other, and we've been texting. But I feel like a good way would be the workplace, one, and then maybe like just what do you do for hobbies? Do you go bowling a lot? You might meet somebody at the bowling alley. You go to the gym. You might meet a girl at the gym. I feel like stuff like that. Whatever, you meet people because you go to school at the same time every day. So if you go somewhere else at the same time every day, you'll meet the same people over and over.
Same time, same place.
Yeah,
Do you think the workplace is a good target to meet someone?
it could be, but it also could be it could cause problems in the workplace, or it could turn into something nice. I don't know. I feel like also with the workplace, people aren't their true selves at work 100%. You gotta sometimes be different at work to fit in with the people you're around and shit. If you want to mesh well with them, like us, if we didn't all get along, fuck, we on the boat 12 hours a day, it'd be a weird dynamic. But they have girls on some of the other boats. I think that probably wouldn't be the best to have a relationship if both of y'all work out here. From my job at least, it could cause tension, especially physical labor, having your girl do the physical work. You'd probably want to do everything for her and shit like that.
It's hard because if you're at work most of the time and you work with someone who is a woman, if you're a guy,
Yeah.
that's the person you get to know the most.
Hmm. Yeah, you're there a lot, and then you're gonna start spending your free time together. So it could be good. You get to know them a lot, kind of like the same way as in school. Just there every day because you have to be. So you might as well make friends and people that you like.
It creates
But
that, yeah.
social media could be a good way to meet too. I mean, it don't have to be a bad way, but it don't have to be good. I don't know. Let's change. Let me
I
change
don't
the
know.
topic. Let me see. Let me see. Or are you talking? I'll think. I'm thinking. It'll be
I want to,
related to it.
okay. I want to ask about work because it's so
What up, Sawyer?
common and it's so almost
We're just
fake
talking about feminists. We hate feminists.
controversial. Oh, you're talking about feminists in the comments?
No, 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 no. I'm messing with my dude Sawyer.
Oh, I think every woman would say she's a feminist, so that's one that I don't think that's a real
I was joking,
strong.
Sawyer. He
Guys
said,
can be
"Boy,
feminists too. So if I'm meeting someone at work, people get sort of fake outraged at it. And I think a lot of it comes from people who have had a lot of their relationships come from work or their friends' relationships. So that's why it can be uncomfortable because it's so honestly one of the best places to meet someone.
Yeah, I know one of my girl's best friends. You know, she met her man at work.
But you can't say it.
Right. You think the
And were
gym
they in the
is a good place?
same? I think the gym is a challenge depending on what type of gym it is.
Right. Like if let's say it's like a Planet Fitness, you know, kind of that's where the average, not your serious gym goer really goes. You know, they have the serious ones, but like let's say you go to a more serious gym and you see somebody like, okay, you know that you guys pretty much have the same goals set. You know, the same, or at least you know you put your health above other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you got that similarity at least. You know, so it can lead you to the right person. I think the gym would be a good one, but also a lot of with social media, you know, men get a bad look in the gym as well. So we could seem as creepy for trying to approach somebody in the gym. That's a crazy thing as well, you know.
It is. So should a girl approach a guy at a gym?
Well, does she feel like it? If she wants to, go ahead. I mean, same way for a guy. If he wants to, he's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do it bad enough, you're gonna end up doing it. Just on it's on whoever's approaching in the situation to be mindful that this person probably isn't here to meet people. You know, they're here to get this get this done and get out. Pretty much. You know, a lot of people is like you know everybody's got a lot of stuff going on. You don't have all your time in the world to be chit chatting at the gym. So I think you know it'd be a good place to start an interaction, but probably not like learn too much about them at the gym. Just like you know what I'm saying, like get the basis off at the gym, and then okay, let's go grab some lunch. You know, let's get some dinner. And that's where you can really learn the person that you know.
Oh, I think we're talking about, it sounds like to me almost
Appreciate you,
plausible
Christian.
deniability.
You have to explain that one a
If
bit
you were
more.
at, like, if you're at work anyway.
Yeah,
If you're at the gym, you're at the gym anyway.
yeah,
And so it almost creates time to get to know someone without it being so direct.
yeah, yeah. If you're in the same vicinity, you know, but then when you go out your way to be next to this person to talk to them, and you don't know them too well, it could get weird. I feel like, but that's what it is. Then you know, it's the it's the one bad apple that ruins it for the whole batch. You know, just like with the same thing with any part of life, like my job. One person maybe cut themselves on their glove because they were wearing thin gloves. Now we got to wear stupid thick gloves, you know. And if they were being smarter, now the job could be easier, you know. Or I don't know, if somebody would have watched their step, we could wear a different type of boots. You know what I'm saying? Just everything depends on everybody, you know. And it can be so many different variations because everybody's so different. That's the That's the weird part. Talking like grouping people together. You know, nobody's really the same. You know, we're all similar, but like so many different outcomes can come from any situation. So I feel like it's hard to pinpoint exact ideas or opinions when it comes to this type of conversation. Possibly, I don't know.
It's hard, and I don't know either, but the discomfort I think is so revealing because they are two of the best places to meet people, at work and at a gym. And I know a friend has gone to a gym, has gone to a place where you exercise, and you did meet someone there,
Right?
and they reached out to her over email, so they were able to see her email.
Okay,
Okay.
that could be a breach of privacy
So,
right there.
so a- after that, she didn't really want to go back to the gym,
Mm.
even though she was happy that he reached out.
It's like
But
it might lead her to think, okay, well, if he was had no problem finding out my email without my permission, what is it going to be like when we are in a relationship? What else will he not ask my permission for? The privacy. You still need your privacy to an extent. You shouldn't be hiding stuff from your partner, but like to do that at such a early stage, it'd be better off going to them in person. I feel.
I mean, I think a lot of women would say that as well, that they would like someone to ask in person what they're up to if they want to grab lunch, like you say.
I feel like you don't hear that
And
much nowadays.
you don't hear about someone going up and asking nowadays because this is the side as a guy. So I think, why did he send the email? I think he wanted to be able to keep going to the gym.
Without giving off he probably didn't want to give off the wrong impression in person when by doing what he did, it also gave a weird impression.
Yeah. So I think he was trying to avoid being weird.
Right.
And then he got into the category of a guy who doesn't ask permission.
hmm See what he could have probably done better.
So it's,
He could have seen her. Okay, W stream. Appreciate that, Cody. He could have. Hey, like I've been seeing you here for a couple months. I seen that you be going here around this time. So do I. I'd love to get your number, grab your Instagram, so we could talk a little bit, and maybe go on a date one day. Let her know what your intentions are. You feel me? Let her know you're not trying to come out, just seeing you. I've been noticing you, right? Not in a weird way, but if it's all the way you come off as a person. People can read your energy and tell how you are, tell what your intentions are. I feel like in most
I
situations,
think the way, in most situations, the vibe is almost felt. It's not even spoken. But the words you just spoke, I think women would say that's what they want. They want someone to say that,
right?
almost line by line.
Right. Yes, I mean it's not hard, but then as a guy, if you don't have that confidence to go do that, then you're gonna be, then you might be the guy that's like, is this man looking at me? But no, I'm not looking. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna come up, but you know what I'm saying? Like it could be like, why is he keep? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Like, come talk to me, but you know, guys be so scared of the rejection side of things. At least a lot of them, because it also has to do with you see on social media, how we get a bad rap sometimes. So that's probably what puts that dude off. He was like, "Shit, let me grab the Instagram or the email, so I don't be a creep in public."
I think that is exactly it. He said, I'll go for the email because if he goes up to her and says, hey, I've seen you a few times, I noticed you. I thought, I would come up here and say hi. Maybe we could grab a coffee. What do you think?
Right.
If that goes well, he's so happy. She's so happy.
Yeah, for sure.
If it doesn't go well, he could get asked to leave the gym.
Right. For being
But if
just yeah. And I don't know if that's there's like the black and white gray area. It's a gray area right there for real. Cause it's like, cause yeah, you do have people who want to just meet somebody, but you also got people. Maybe you got people that go to the gym just to look around, and just to try to get friends and to try and talk to women. I see a lot of old guys. You know that girl don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? So like, it'd just be easier to eliminate it as a whole, and then you don't have that problem at all anymore. just like with anything,
Yeah.
safety. I mean, like the safety reasons at work, not everybody's gonna fucking fall, but because one out of 10,000 people fell, everybody got to wear a harness now.
Yeah. But safety is such an important word because for guys, it's totally different than for girls.
Yeah,
So for the guy, it was safer to reach out for his longevity to keep coming to the gym over email.
right.
But for the woman, it's safer for her to talk. Well, it would be great if she would go up and say, I
Yeah,
saw you a few, or you've been looking at me. I wanted to walk over here and say, what's up?
right.
Maybe we could exchange information. But I think most women don't, even smart, successful, strong women, they don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, they want to be the
Um,
prize, and
Successful, strong women, they don't want to do that.
yeah, no, they want to be
Um,
the prize, and that's understood. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you see it in nature, all the men birds and stuff, they do their mating calls, they're approaching their women, so why can't we?
it's the question of 2025, I think, is it time women are doing everything else men do? Are they going to approach men?
All right, I would see me personally, yeah, it's cool. It'd be cool, but like as a man, you might want to take pride in the manly. Yeah, I asked my girl out. What I'm saying, I bought this, I did that. What I'm saying, I provide. I'm the man. I speak like my word. What I'm saying, like I don't know. It'll go with being a man of the house. What I'm saying, just like being a provider. You go up to her. But yeah, women can go up too.
Yeah,
No biggie. But what I'm saying, as a man, I feel like it'd be nice, yeah. But you're like, man, maybe I kind of feel like a bitch a little bit. I should have went up. I should have went and talked to her myself.
100%.
Yeah,
You're almost providing her like the opportunity to say yes or no
yeah. And it can go,
instead
it
of
can go a good way with yes. It can go a good way with no. It could be no. We go our ways, or it could be no.